Hello, everyone. Let's continue our challenges. By far, we end up this map. So this field map shows us some interesting facts. It seems we have the highest profit in the California. Look at the color; it's so deep red, and it seems the lowest profit is in Texas. So let me go over the map. And okay, so over California, the profit is 76K versus in Texas, almost minus 26K. That's so bad. So let's compare these two states and see what makes them different. So maybe we can look over the different categories that they have and see which category has the worst performance. So this is the goal for the next challenge. So it seems the highest profit is in California, lowest in the Texas. Compare sales and profit of each category of these two states. As you see, I used pie chart over map. And again, for all of those challenge solutions is at the bottom of each page. So you can see that I've looked at the categories, and each category, I look at the sales and profit. Also, I just focus on these two states. The way that I did, I use a filter and just filter out these two states. Okay, so let's go over the map. Let's just make a totally new map. So click on it. Let's just expand a little bit. Okay, so this is the base map. For the location, I'm dropping state. For size, let's keep sale. And we also want to look at the profit. So that's for the tooltip. I consider profit. Okay, now, as you see in the left pan, we have profit, sale, and state. I just want to focus on California and state of Texas. So let's just find Texas. So this is too small. So I want to just make it bigger so I can focus in a better way. Also, as I said, I want to focus on categories. This is one way. I mean, it's not necessarily the best way of looking at. So we have two cute pie charts of sale. So let's just make it a little bigger. One way, you can just drag the map, make the size larger. Still, I'm not that much satisfied. So I go to the Format tab, click on Bubble, and let's just make it bigger. Okay, now it's much better. Okay, so also let's just put the category with labels on. So I know that I'm focusing on Texas. You can play with the font too if you want to change the size, maybe type of font, if you want to make it bold. So there's a bunch of formatting things, which is similar to other Microsoft Excel or in general office tools. So I don't just I don't dig that much in it, but I think if you just play with that, you can see a lot of options that is available for you. Okay, so let's focus on the category. So for the category technology, California did very well. For furniture, also it's really good. Let's look at office supplies. But still, we have a really good amount of profit. So let's focus on Texas. Okay, for technology, the sale and profit is okay, not that much great, I should say. So maybe the profit is like about 5-6% for the technology, just compare the sales and profit. Oh my God, in the furniture, the company did really bad. So about 60K of sales minus 10K of profit. It just means you're doing very bad. You're underperformed so bad in Texas for both category of furniture and also office supply. So the company might have different decision, maybe just doing more marketing campaigns in Texas or just get rid of those categories. I mean, for better decision in terms of what happened, and you need to do more investigation. So maybe you can report those sales record that you have a very negative profit, and then maybe accounting department can figure out what's going on, or basically you can make more informative decision. So let's just export it, which is actually is your next challenge. So in the next challenge, you should export the problematic records in Texas to your manager. Your report should include product ID, order ID, category profit, and subcategory columns. Let me go back there. Okay, so in my point of view, all the categories have some kind of problems, but it's more obvious for furniture category and also office supplies. So let me click on furniture, right click, show data point as a table. So you have so many columns, and in that challenge, I didn't say all the columns. I just said some specific columns. So what can you do from values? Just select category, profit, and order ID. So category profit, maybe you can even include sale, but I didn't ask. So profit, category, order ID, product ID. So ship mode is not necessary. Customer ID is not necessary. Customer name, no. Segment, no. Yeah, I'm just getting rid of the extra columns. Yeah, maybe this 5 is enough. Okay, now we want to export it to another department. So looking at this page on the right side, there's like 3 buttons for more options. Just click on it, export data, and maybe I just put data furniture problems, or any names makes more sense for you, and save it. So yeah, you just exported the category of furniture I just go back to the map. If you press button, you can select multiple categories. So this, I mean, you can make separate files, but if you want just have a one file that includes all of the records that you're looking for, you can just keep your control button and just select multiple. Even you can select multiple categories from different states, but it's not what we are looking for. You can right click, show data point as a table, and then you can export it. Okay, so again, this is asynchronous class. You can pause the video anytime and put some comments, but just play with more filters, some fonting and or other formatting things. So you may get a better idea about this challenge. Okay, so far you have seen there is some problem in some states like Texas. Now your manager is more curious. He or she wants to know what products you actually have negative profit. So you have much less performance. So maybe they can make another decision, not just in Texas, maybe whole the country, and see what the products you're just losing money. So this is actually the next challenge. So I ask, the company wants to discontinue products that have negative profit. Find those products. In which product do you have lowest and highest sale? So you can do it easily in a table. I make a new page. Just click on a table. Okay, so you want to look at the products with basically lowest sale, or I mean highest sale, and maybe we want to discontinue the products that we have negative profit. So let's just look over product name, drag it here. Profit is the important variable for us. Then sale. Okay, so let me expand it a little bit. So as you see, similar to Excel, you can sorting capabilities on each column. So when I drag my mouse on profit, you see a black triangle. So when you click it, you can just sort based on the value. Is it like increasing, decreasing? So, wow. So there is a item, Cubify Cubex 3D printer double head print. So you make a very bad profit, almost minus 9,000. So that 3D printer may have an issue. Either could be quality issue, marketing issue, but you're losing a lot of money in that. Let's look at the sale. So I'm just sorting based on sale. So with Canon image class 2200 advanced copier, you make a good amount of sale, and profit is also good, it's almost 40-50%. So it seems to be a good product. So let's just exclude the items that we have a very bad performance. You need to report it to your manager, accounting department, and maybe they can do more investigation. Similar to before, so in the previous challenge, we focused on just Texas and California, and we did a comparison. So in that challenge, you use filter to just filter out two states. Here, similarly, you can still use a filter to filter out the items you have negative profits. So I click on the table, then go profit, expand it. So show the item when the value less than 0. We want to exclude I mean, the items you're doing very bad performance, or maybe it could be 100, but here, based on the challenge, we want to focus on the worst one. So less than 0, then you should click on apply filter. Yeah, now all the products here have negative profit. So similar to before, but this time the 3 dots is at the bottom. You can click on it, click on export, and you can export as a CSV file with the name that you want. So maybe I can say negative profits, or any other names that makes more sense. Now, you can just email it to your department. They can do other investigation and make a final decision. Is it do they want just exclude all of them, or maybe they can have they might look over other countermeasures. Okay, let's look at the next challenge. Let's assume you currently have a warehouse in Worcester, Massachusetts. You want to open another warehouse in the state that has the highest quantity of orders. Also, you have a focus on the same-day delivery. Then, intuitively, you want to build a warehouse in the city that has the highest quantity of same delivery. So far you have two variables for decision making. One, you want to make a second warehouse in the state that the highest quantity of orders. The second one, highest quantity of same delivery. So after you find your state, you look over highest quantity of same day delivery, and then you need to find that city to make your second warehouse. Okay, so for this challenge, I use matrix. So there's a difference between matrix and table. In the table, you just have columns. So all of your variables on the columns. For the matrix, you also have rows. So some of you cannot just have one or more than that variables for your rows. Here, I put the quantity of different types of order on my column, and also my rows are states. So let's see how to make it. So I make a new page. So this is a matrix. I click on it, make it larger. So for the row, I want to find the best state and the best city. So I pick a state. Within each state, I want to look over the cities. So I also drag and drop city. And my quantity is for values. So values for quantity. And also I want to focus on types of for quantity of each type of ship modes. So what is the ship mode? Okay. Again, here you can do sorting. So let's just sort it out. As you see, when over column of total, I sort. California has the highest amount of, highest quantity. So this is my state that I want to focus. Maybe you can filter out other states because you want to dig more into that, but you don't have to. Maybe next to California, you can press the plus sign, and you see all the cities. So it's not necessary to filter out other cities, but maybe we just want to focus more and get rid of the extra data. So on the filter side, for state, what is that? Okay. So I just focus on California. So there's just cities of California here. Then I want to find a city that I have highest quantity of same day delivery. So over the same day column, I just focus. So look, yeah, it seems in San Francisco, you have the highest amount of same day delivery. So this is the city. So if this is the logic behind of this company, they have the highest quantity of sales in California. This is their dream state for the next warehouse. Then in San Francisco, they have the highest amount of same-day delivery, so it should be their dream city for making the second warehouse. Okay, let's look at the next challenge. We want to dig more into Texas performance for profit of each category. Show the best and worst performing cities of Texas in a table. I said table, but you still can use matrix. So your rows could be the cities and your columns could be category, and within each cell, you can have the profit. Still for the row, you can also include states, but I want to show you another way of doing that. So let's go over what's Power BI, click on the next page. Okay, I make a matrix. Let's make it larger. So for the row, I want to focus on city. For the columns, category. And the values, of course, profit. So within each cell, I have the profits of cities and categories. Okay. What can I do? Because these are the cities of the whole United States. I want to focus on Texas. Maybe I can add a filter, but in the filter, I don't have anything for state. I can just drag a state and drop it under filter in the last rectangle. And then just click on Texas. So now my matrix has the cities of Texas, but in the rows, this time I don't have any Texas as a state. So again, this is one way of doing that. It's not necessarily the best way. Also, I want to have a cool visualization. So instead of just looking at the minus, positive, and sorting them out, maybe we can do a cute visualization. So each cell shows a color. So if it's maybe if it's very low, it should be red, otherwise blue. So it actually needs a kind of formatting. What can you do? Go over format, click on conditional formatting. So conditional formatting just focus on basically format of each cell. And I want to make a cute bar in each cell. So bar shows the value of my profit. So I click on data bars. So look within each cell, I have a bar chart. It's very pale. Maybe we can play with the color. So if it's negative, it's pale blue. If it's positive, it's dark blue. But let's just change the color. So I click on advanced control. So for positive, I still make it blue. For the negative, just let's make it red so you can easily distinguish. Oh, so it's in Houston in office supplies. You have a really bad amount of profit. If you just, and for, I mean, office supplies, but you did a good job of like technology, but also you did a very bad job in furniture. So again, conditional formatting is a way that you can distinguish each cell instead of just focusing and eyeballing and looking at them one by one. So as you see in this session, we focus a lot on tables. Let's look at this next challenge. In a table, show the profit of each subcategory in each region. So subcategory, each region. We have two variables. Maybe matrix is a good one. Although I'm talking about table, but since we have two different variables, like profit of category, region. So profit could be the value, subcategory could be your row, and region could be column. Okay, more specifically, identify the cities that the sum of the profit is negative, less than 2,000, between 2,000 and 5,000, and more than 5,000. So if you want to identify them easily through visualizations, maybe conditional formatting helps. So use some sort of visualization to easily find categories in each table. I put the solution here, but let's just do one. So I click on new page, I select matrix, expand it. So for the row, I can put subcategories. For the column, I put the regions. And for value, definitely profit, because we are focusing on profit. Okay, so now we want to easily identify the problematic areas. So I go to format, again, conditional formatting. At this time, I play with the icon. So again, these are different. You can play with the background color, font, data bars, icon. So we already worked with the data bars, but this time with icon. And again, this is not the best way of doing that, but you can play with different formatting and you end up knowing so many different ways that you can do these visualizations. So I click on icon. So I just see random icon, but it doesn't identify the categories I'm looking for. So I said negative 2,000, 2,000 to 5,000 and more than that. So through advanced controls, I can easily identify it. Okay, so instead of percent, we are looking at the numbers. Just change all of them to numbers. So the first one, so unfortunately, I have to identify more than a value and less than something, not exactly less. So what can I do? For greater, I can put a very negative point, which you show all of your data points more than that. So I put maybe minus 100,000. So very negative. Less than, let's just change it to number, less than 0. So every minus 1, you're looking for, let's look, make this icon. So more than 0, less than, just change it to number, 2,000. And let's just make it this. Still, this is the worst categories I have. So I can do more than 2,000. This is my next category. Less than 5,000. So let's just number. Let's make another rule. So I'm just saying more than 5,000. Change it to number. Let's just make a very large number, maybe 100,000. The format, this one was yellow. Okay. So now when you look at the figure, you can find the worst and best situations that you have. So for example, this circles with the white cross, like in supplies, in central supplies tables, you did a really bad job. Maybe in the West Coast, in copiers, you did a really good job, 19,000 profit. Again, you can pause the video and just play with different sections to see what other formatting you can do. Maybe just play with the background color. Okay, so now let's go over the next challenge. Make a dynamic table that shows the sales of each category, region, and segment. In a month, quarter, what is the best sale quarter? This is really interesting. So again, they're talking about dynamic table, but we can just use the matrix and using the drill option in the matrix to have a different view in terms of different category, region, segment, even different time units. Okay, so again, the goal has looking each category, region, and segment. Maybe I can put them in the rows. And then also for the column, maybe I could put date. And the value is same because we want to focus on the same. Okay, so let's make a new matrix. Okay, rows, now I can put region, the first level. Second level, I want to dig into categories. And the lowest level, I want to look at the segment of each category. So this time I want to consider my time unit, which is date on columns, and the value is sale because we want to focus on the sale. Okay, look what happens. I want to find the best category. So if you look at the down in the matrix, we have some options here, which for drilling. So it just lets you to go over different levels of variables. If you look at rows, we have region, category, and segment. For the columns, we have level of year, quarter, month, and day. So let's change drill on to columns. So this arrow is just saying click to turn on drill down. So I turn it down. The next one, go to the next level. So next level is now is year. If I click, I end up being in the quarter. So I have like a busy table for finding the best performing quarter of each region. Maybe I can just do conditional formatting. So click on format, then go to the conditional formatting, and maybe bar chart this time, data bars. So you can easily see for each region, maybe the best quarter is the fourth quarter. Same for the West. Almost in all the regions, the best quarter is the last, maybe because we are getting to the New Year Eve. So many people want to purchase items or renewing their current items. Okay, let me go back to the variables that we had. So we have other options. So the next one, I mean, I already said for going to the next level. And this one, it just go to the expand all the categories. So with this one, can go to the next level. Now I'm in the days. Look, let's expand it. Like day one. Oh, to maybe day 31. So with this arrow, I can drill up, go back from days to month, to the quarter, and to the year. So it's the highest one. With this one, I can go to the next one level. With the last arrow, which is like a fork, you can see all the levels. So all the levels on the row means just I want to see year, quarter, month, and day, everything together. So I just click on it. Let me just expand it. One more. As you see, year, quarter, month. If I click one more, I even can see days. So the year, each quarter, month, and day of the month. If I go back, maybe year could be enough. Now I can change the drill option to column. I can just turn it on. So as you see, now I'm in the region. Maybe if I click more. Oh, I'm still on column. So let me just change it to row. Okay, for the column, let me just go back. Here, let's change to the row. Then just go to the next level. So now I see category. So if you look at the rows option, the visualization section, the next one is just segment. You can go back from segment to the category. So segment, category, and region. Then region. Or you can just expand all together. So you see some dynamic interaction based on the drill options that you have. Okay, in this challenge, we start working with dates. Maybe we can have a chart that shows performance over time, more basically traditional date charts, which you have like some regression line showing your different maybe sale, quantity, profit over time periods. Okay, so having said that, let's look at the next challenge. It's about the date. So compare the order quantity in which region you have the most and least amount of monthly order quantity. So here is obviously we're looking at the quantity performance over each month. So we need to work with the date. We need to work over with the quantity and also regions. Maybe each line could show a region and each line color, and also the value could be associated to quantity, and on the row, which is X, on the X variable axis, maybe I can have my date variables. Okay, so you can either have some lines like this or some area chart, but I think a line chart is much better because area chart, all of them would be solid. So you will have a very busy figure. So let's make another one. this either area chart or line chart is same. So you can just, as a practice, maybe you can work on both, but pretty much you get similar results. Okay, let me make it larger. So for the axis, for the maybe this axis, for the axis, I can put date. So the value is this quantity for sure. I guess like secondary values, those kind of thing, but that's totally fine. So you can add several values, and in the multiples is similar to bar chart. Maybe you can have several line chart in different regions. I can show it later on, but so, and you can have a tooltips. For the legend, I put region. So now I have several lines. Pretty easy. So secondary value, maybe you can put like profit. Sometimes doesn't work well. I recommend to just work basically with different figures, not just put everything together. For multiples, maybe you can put category. So for each category, you have different figure. Again, just make it busier. So let's just get rid of it for now. Yeah, so you have the performance over each year. So again, you can drill through. So you can drill into different levels, or you can just come here and exclude the year. So I want to exclude year. Now they change to quarter. Maybe I can just exclude quarter. So I have monthly performance. So monthly quantity performance. Again, on your time, just play with different options, add secondary values, play with the multiples. Maybe if you need tooltip. So let me just put a tooltip. Maybe tooltip sometimes good because it doesn't make your figure busier. So yeah, I have the different information on each data points. So in this chart, the line chart, you have seen that you can look at the values of one variable over the time. So maybe you can do some advanced things. So you already have seen profit. So maybe what happens in each sales on the quarter. So maybe we can just consider both and just look at your kind of performance over there. So this is the next challenge. So in the next challenge, I said compare annual change each sale and profit. So you want to change in both. What are the most contributing regions in the annual profit? So we will also include sales and profit both in one figure. Again, there is different ways of doing that, but I mean one way just using line and clustered column. Let me make a new one. Line and clustered column. So let me just click on it. Made it a little larger. So for the axis, still I want to use order date. For column series, maybe region. Column value profit. So for the lines value, let's just put profit again. So here you're seeing profit over the years over different regions. Maybe we can also include sale too. So sale is much higher. So And if you look at the left y-axis, just profit. So it's this pink one or purple one. And the right side, you see the sale value, which is much larger. So it's in millions, but in profit in thousands. So 2019, the West region is really contributing. It seems even it's same 2018, but 2017, that one East region contributed more in your performance. Basically, the goal is just digging more into your data. So including a column chart for each time sections helps us to dig more into it. Again, these are the way that we try to, also teach you line and cross-seller column chart, but may not be the most efficient one. So for your own projects, we can do some creativity and just use different types of figures that works better for you. So far, we work with the different tables, and we see in matrices we have multiple variables. We also look at the time series, and like here we can see the progress over time, and also with the column chart, maybe we can dig more into it. But maybe we can also look at the accumulated effect. For example, for each year, how your categories summed up. Maybe you remember you had some categories you had minus profit or negative profits. Some you had higher sale, but also you want to look at their change over time and see how's your performance over time, if they are contributing more or just contributing less, or even they maybe in some categories you had lower performance. So your performance changed over time. Look at the next challenge. It seems from 2016 to 17, there is a drop in the sale. Let's go back here. Do you see? 2016, it was 484,000 in sale. 2017, it was 470. So there's some drops, but we want to dig more into that drop and see what was the effects of each category. So let's dig more into it. Show the contribution of each sale. So let me just fix it. So each sale category in the annual sales. So for this, which you want to look at the variances of each category, maybe waterfall chart helps you a lot. So having said that, let me make another figure. This is my waterfall chart. For category section, it might look a little weird, but we also, this time we use order date. So we want to break down based on category, and we also want to focus on sale. Let me expand it. Okay, so the green bar chart means you have increase. For example, from 2017 to 2018, in technology, office supply, and furniture, you saved more than what you used to have in 2016. Look at 2016 to 17. Furniture in 2017, you sold even more, but in technology, you sold less. So you had a drop in sale in comparison of 2016 with 2017. Also in office supply, you also had a lot of drop in the office supply sales. But again, 2017-18, both category of sales, you had some improvement. That's really great. Okay, let's go to the last challenge for this session. Recall the challenge that you had in the finding headquarters in the city that you have the highest. Now your manager wants to make a more sophisticated decision in building headquarters. The company asks you to make a dashboard showing the top 5 cities with highest sale. So let's just make it top 5 state. You can do 4 cities, but I think it's better to do it for state with highest sale, then provide it. So we need to focus on top 5 state with highest sale. Then provide the quantity profit, the most profitable subcategory, and the top 5 subcategories with highest quantity of sale. Okay, so for this information, you can just use cards. I just dig more into it. So basically, you can just use, with the map, you can just focus on the states and just filter out the highest sales. And with card and with the card, you can just put the information of profit, quantity, and subcategory, just one variable or one information. But with the multi-row card, you can just put extra information, extra lines of information. So like here on the right side, top 5 subcategories with highest quantity of sale. Okay, we have quite steps. So let's make another page. I drag map. So location is still a state. Then we want to focus on the regions. Maybe it's better to differentiate between the regions. So either west, central, south, east. And the size, which has the values, is based on sales. Now, I just want to filter out 5 highest state with the sales. So you can add one more variable or just play with the state. So over the state, just dig down. In the filtering type, I'm selecting top N and top 5 here. And for value, I want to look at the sale. So state top 5 by focusing on the sales value. Apply filter. Now I just have those 5 state that I have highest sale amount. So now I want to add extra information. So those information should include quantity, profit, and most profitable subcategories, and the top, basically, the top 5 subcategories. So let's make more room. So let me just move my map here. I make it just a little smaller. So now for showing those information, I need to use cards. So this is the card. Click on it. Oh no. So I should first click on the white space, then click on card. Let's just change to this size. So let's just show the profit. So drag and drop profit on the field. So now let's click on Texas. Look, the profit change. Sorry, California. So then let's click on New York. It changed. Texas. It changed. If I click the white part of the map, you can see all the profit that we had. So now let's focus on quantity. So again, for showing the quantity, I can just click on the white section, click on the card. This time field has quantity. Okay, hold the quantity, and then if you click on each state, you can find the specific quantities for each state. Now we won't have extra information. So let's go back to the challenge. Quantity profit, the most profitable subcategory. Okay. So let's make another card. Here, I'm drag and drop subcategory. Where is that? Here. Click on it. Let me expand the filter. So here you cannot do that much of thing. So I can add another item to the filter. You need to a little practice with the filters, but I want to expose profit on top of that. So let it just pick the highest or most profitable subcategory. So what can I do is, again, I select subcategory again. This time I drop it on this rectangle, add data fields here. Okay, this is a new filter. For the basic filtering, I select top one, highest, but based on the value of profit. Then apply filter. So the most profitable, which is top one in profit, is machines. Maybe you are not happy with the name. First subcategory. First here means the most profitable, right? So for renaming this one, here I click on first subcategory. Now I can type the name that I like. The most profitable subcategory. Now the name is changed. I think one more left, so let's go back here. So on top of that, we need to show the top 5 subcategories with the highest quantity. So now instead of top 1, top 5, and instead of profit, also we want to look at quantity. So you cannot do it with just a card. You need to work with the multi-row card. So because when you want to show multiple or multi values, I mean, here we are looking based on quantity. So here on the white section, go to multi-row card. Maybe I can change the size. Then for the values, I need to show subcategories. So let's see if we can do the filtering here. Yeah, we can do it here now. So top 5 based on the value of quantity. Then apply filter. Okay, so let me put it here. So you need to have a title here. We don't see it this one. Now we can just use text box. So click on the white section, click on text box. You can, oh, what happened? Okay. Just type the top 5 subcategories with, maybe next line, highest quantity of sale. Let's just, maybe we can play with the font colors, and let's just make it red. Let me make it smaller. Oh, here I don't have a fun time with my mouse. So from those 3 points here, drag and take your text box here. Now the dashboard is ready. So you see the type 5 states here. If for each state, when you click, like California, you see the profit, quantity, the most profitable subcategory, and also the type subcategory with highest quantity of sale. This is the dashboard. If you click on New York, you see all of them should change. There may be sometimes all the subcategories with the highest quantity are same, but I think if I click on, yeah, it should be a little bit of, yeah, maybe the quantity is almost same if you rank them. So what about Washington? Yeah, now the subcategories also change. Yeah, I mean, again, this is one way of doing dashboard. As you see, dashboard is easier with Power BI. Tableau is great too, but both of them are really good ones. In the next session, I go to more advanced part. As you see, each challenge gets a little more challenging or more harder. So next session, I go to the advanced part. Again, if you think you need to help your grade, maybe you can submit whatever I showed today in Power BI or Tableau. So if you do in Power BI, you get some bonus. If you do Power BI and Tableau together, you get extra bonus. So I added as an optional assignment. So you see the grade, but the grade is just as a bonus. If you're doing both software, which is a good practice, actually, some of you got good internships and full-time job based just doing Tableau and Power BI. So if you do more practice, you get more. So just challenge yourself to see if you can do both and just compare Power BI and Tableau. So if you do with both, maybe you can just add a comment and also submit a Word file and just explain me what is your intuition or what you can understand about the differences or pros and cons of Power BI and Tableau with these challenges that I posted. Okay, keep motivated. Next time we go to other challenges, it gets a little harder. Even we go to Python or within Tableau, which is really interesting. Thank you very much and have a great rest of the day.